We've got a pretty packed house, and we're excited about that. It means good things for Titan football. So, some of you guys that are new, a little bit about Titan's football program, and this is going to get repeated throughout the night. We are a program for homeschool kids, and so I think I met several people this morning, or several of you guys just now that I think this is your first year maybe homeschooling, and so that's what we're here for. We're here for homeschool kids in the Lubbock area. We are a competitive program. We're not one of these everybody gets the prize things. We're competitive, and we compete with UIL schools and a lot of private schools. But we are a competitive program, and so we like to say that up front. I'm Coach Schmidt. I've been with, I think this is how many years is this? Is this my 7th year? I've been with Titans for 7 years. Started in junior high and worked my way up to high school. High school coaches for this year. So we've got Jeremy Smith back there in the back. Okay, we've got, he's not present, but Bill Strickland. He's not here. I think Hunter and Mom are here somewhere. There we go, right there. And then Ron Bacchus. He's one of the high school coaches. We are probably going to have a few more as the season develops. Talking to a few, but anyway, there's just the 4 of us right now. Junior high, we've got Tanner Osborne. Where'd Tanner go? Right there in the back. Okay. Joel Savant. Forgot that name. Okay. Who am I missing?
Adam's not here. Lewis is over here.
Where you at? Okay, Lewis right there. Pardon me, I forgot your last name. Martinez. All right, Lewis Martinez. Is that everybody?
Yeah, Adam's going to be a little late.
Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 other coaches that we have mentioned. I'll talk more about the strength and conditioning, but we've also got Adam Beck that helps a lot with junior high, and we've got Jared Lincoln that helps a lot with high school. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tanner, and you don't have to listen to me talking.
So like Coach Smith said, I'm Tanner Osborne. Gonna talk a little bit about the vision and the goal of Titan football this year. And first of all, opportunity. That is literally the reason we're here, is to give homeschool. It was created to provide an opportunity for homeschool athletes to compete. Learning to work together as a team creates life skills that better prepare our student athletes for their futures. Also, to facilitate a gathering of like-minded families to expand their sphere of influence and make a difference in the homeschool community. Quote by Ann Landers, opportunities are used to describe as hard work, so most people don't recognize it. Secondly, one thing we really want to focus on this year is unity, bringing everybody together. Matthew 12:25, our vision this year is a vision of unity, not only between the athletes, but also the teams, families, and coaches. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Henry Ford said, this is my favorite one, by the way, coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. So that's really what we're trying to do here, is not just do what we do for this year, but to do it for every year, for years to come, so that this thing can repeat when we're long gone. And that's only going to work if we work with what we've got today. Excellence. Our vision is to take what we have and do our absolute best with it. Colin Powell said, if you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habits in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it's a prevailing attitude. And the next thing we really want to focus on this year is our execution. And that's execution in everything we do, whether that be our communication, whether that be our coaching, our plays, no matter what we're doing. Our goal this year is to attack all challenges head on, make a plan, execute it to the best of our abilities, while maintaining a spirit of excellence and unity. Execute our practices, plays, and the knowledge we have acquired to make the most of all the games we have, and will continue to make both on and off the field. Tony Dungy, I think most of you guys know he works for the Colts. No excuses, no explanations. You don't win on emotion, you win on execution. And lastly, repetition. This is something that Coach Schmidt really talked about. In our effort for excellence, we cannot leave out the most important aspect of doing the best with what we have and making the most of our time, and that is repetition. It sounds so simple, but it is repetition that will help our athletes and coaches attain the confidence and skills needed to be successful as possible during game time. Whether we're snapping the ball, blocking, wrapping up, it's the reps that are going to take us to the next level, knowing what to expect and executing it every single day. Zig Ziglar, repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment. And I think that was really what I was going to talk about. Cheryl, are you ready to come and talk about registration?
Hey guys, I'm Cheryl Schmidt, and I am the high school admin. I work with Crystal Spencer. She is the junior high admin. She's there at the back. And her and I help the coaches out, and we just try to make sure that we handle more of the paperwork, all the ins and outs, the money, all that kind of stuff. So we're probably the bad guys that are going to be on your case saying, where's your money, where's your forms, get this to us, this is going on, this isn't going on. We're probably the ones that you're going to hear from the most. The players will interact with the coaches, but we probably interact more with the parents getting everything done. So if you ever had any questions or anything, Crystal and I are usually at most of the practices, so just holler at us, ask us what's going on, questions or anything, just holler at us. So the big thing that we're doing is online registration, and we did it last year. It was the first year that the Titans implemented the online registration, and I am also a board member, and I handle a lot of this registration, and I will say it made my life so much easier. It made things easier for all the coaches, so I appreciate y'all doing it last year and working through all the steps, and so I'm hoping this year that it'll be even easier, and we'll just kind of fly right through it, okay? So just a little bit about the registration. I'm not going to go through everything because a lot of what we have, you can just read and figure it out. It's pretty simple. So what you have to do is you're going to go to LubbockTitans.org. And all of this information that we're giving out tonight is going to be in our team app. Crystal's going to talk about that in a little bit, but we'll have all the documents in there. So if you have questions or be like, oh, what was that date? Or what was this cost? Or what did they say about this? It's all on there, okay? So everything should be in our file, but of course, if it's not, or you have a question about something, reach out to Crystal and I, and we'll help you. But you go to LubbockTitans.org, and across the top, it will have sports. So you go to football, and then of course, if you're playing high school football, you're going to go to high school. If you're playing junior high, you're going to go to junior high. And it'll pull up a box where you can click on registration guide. So this will be our first step. And Brent, go kind of scroll up and down with me as I talk, please. There's going to be 12 steps now. So scroll up a little bit. It just kind of gets the basic information. Here's one right here at the bottom. If y'all see that having trouble logging in. Okay, so part of also with the Titans is you have to join. We're called the Lubbock Homeschool Christian Athletic Association, LHCAA. You're going to see that everywhere. And what that is that is a sports group that is over all the Titan sports. So we're over volleyball, basketball, cross country, track, football, volleyball, everything. So in order to be a part of that program, you have to pay a $40 fee. Okay? So we'll get to the fees in a minute. So everybody has to get onto this website. You have to create a login and a password. You need to remember that. If you were in with us last year, you need to remember that. Hopefully you wrote it down. If you're like me, I had to have a notebook with all my passwords, and I still don't remember them. So I talked to the website guy, and I'm like, what if we don't remember? What do we do? Because I can guarantee you probably 90% of us in here do not remember any of that. So he created this little box here, and it says Visit Login FAQ. And when you click on that, it has little drop-down boxes. What if I forget my username? What if I forget my password? And it gives you steps on what to do it. Password reset, I think, is automatic, like within seconds. username, I can't remember if you can reset it or you have to email him. But anyway, that's what you're gonna do, is you have to log in, okay? So that's a big thing. All right, Brent, keep scrolling up. So it just goes through and it gives you all the steps. Step 1, you gotta read our handbook and our bylaws. You have to click on those blue, saying that you read them, and then you'll go to the next step, and you keep going up. You can see step 2 is the membership form. So that's what everybody has to pay. And on that, guys, okay, so if you played this year, okay, any sport, but if you played this year, you are a member through July 31st. So you don't have to pay the $40. Okay, I see a lot of new faces. And so if you're new to the Titans and have never played before, then you have to pay the $40 right now to participate in our spring events, spring and summer events. Okay? It's just like if you were to go transfer to a public school and you were at, say, Ropes and you went to New Home. You would have to pay whatever New Home fees required you to finish out that year, and then you'd have to do it the next year to keep playing at New Home. Does that kind of make sense? So if you are a brand new athlete, never before played Titans, pay the $40 now. And then those of you that have been with us, do not, and I gotta repeat this because I'm the secretary and I deal with all this. And I'm gonna make you pay $40 twice and you don't want to. If you are a member right now, do not pay your membership for 2023 to 2024 until after August 1st. Okay? Because our website has everything on there, and we don't switch over to the new year until August 1st, July 31st. So if you pay now, I'm not going to have record of it come August 1st, and I'm going to hunt you up and say, sorry, you didn't pay, you're going to pay again. Okay? So just pay again. Yes, Frank?
So if we've got some new faces here that are not members of LHCAA right now, do they need to pay this year's fee and next year's fee?
It's a one-time deal, guys, and I know it stinks, but yes, one time you'll pay $80. Okay, so it's now you pay, that way you can participate in our spring training in April and March and then throughout the summer. You'll pay that one time, and then in August you'll have to pay again. So I apologize, it really stinks, but like I said, think about transferring schools. You're moving into our program, and so you're moving in with us like you're moving to a new school.
Did you cover, because I paid attention, did you cover if they have paid for other sports that have previously?
I said that, but just to reinforce, if you play basketball, if you play, not you, your family. This is a family membership. So if I had a daughter that played volleyball, and now my son wants to jump in and play football, we are covered, because it includes your entire family. Or I see soccer faces in here. If you're signing up right now, soccer registration is going on. If you're doing soccer registration, you are covered for football, okay? Think about it, Lubbock Titans, LHCAA, is like a school. We cover everybody. So you join our school, you join all sports. Does that make sense? Clear as mud on those, that's just a big thing we gotta enforce this year. Okay, all right, so you're gonna do that. Step 3 kind of starts the football stuff. So you'll go in, you'll sign the code of conduct, the football guidelines, you'll look at the vision that Tanner just brought up, and then the football sign-up forms. You need to complete all of those, especially the football sign-ups. If you aren't on that, you're not on our roster, and you're not included, okay? When you do that, you do need to be sure you check your grades. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me take on that one. Code of conduct. Okay, all of those are just signatures. Okay, step 4 is a new agreement form. Tanner's going to discuss that later. But on that one, you have to actually print it out. There's going to be 4 or 5 forms that we want a true signature with. The other ones, like the football guidelines and code of conduct, you just check a box with initials, yes, I read them. Okay? These others are more important or have sensitive information that we don't want to put on the website. And so you're actually going to have to print them out, you fill them out, you scan them, and then you email them. Okay? If you don't have a scanner at home, that's okay. All you have to have, like on your iPhone, if you'll go to the little notes, so like a little yellow notepad, and at the bottom there should be a camera icon, and you click on that, and it says scan documents. You click a picture of it and then save it as a PDF, and then you can email it. Androids has something else.
You can download an app.
It's in notes. You can do it from
It's what?
It's in notes.
Okay.
On Android as well.
So Android has it as well on the notes. So even if you don't have a scanner or printer, do it off your phone, okay? So the big thing on that this year that we're implementing, those that did it last year have done this before and emailed it, but you can see, is this one top it? Okay, it says scan the form and email it to loveitcottonfootball@gmail.com. That's just our generic football. That's what we're gonna use for any emails, a lot of contacts, if you have questions, if you ever need reimbursement for receipts, anything like that. This is our main email. This is our contact. Crystal and I get that and we check it, and then if it doesn't need to go to us, go to the coaches, we'll send it to them or whatever. Okay, whenever you print off this agreement form, you sign it, you scan it. We would like you, we would say, do this. Save it as last name, first name, agreement. Okay, so I would do Schmidt, Kelton, agreement. And the reason why, I know this is being picky, but we last year had 50 athletes, and we had 3 things that they had to turn in. So that was 150 forms that we had to go through, we had to separate, we had to figure out whose name, we had to rename them, because we have to keep all of these, especially when we get to the medical records. We have to keep that in case something happens during practice. Our coaches need to be able to get a hold of what your medical records are. If we have to take somebody to the hospital or something like that. Okay, so we need easy access, easy ability to find things. So please, please, if you can, save it as last name, first name, and then like agreement. And then also, when you're scanning them, like on those notes, don't take one picture and then take the next picture and then take the next picture. Because that puts all of those files, or all of those pictures, documents, in one file. That means Crystal and I then have to go in, open that up, sort out this file, and sort out this file, and then sort out this one. We have lives too, and we love y'all a lot, but I don't want to do it, please, with 100. It's going to be 200 documents this year, because we're adding a couple more. So if you will, save the agreement as one file. Save the medical release as one file. Save the guidelines as one file. It will really help us out. Does that kind of make sense on what I'm saying on how to separate it? Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So the next one is the medical release and concussion acknowledgement. We follow UIL concussion agreements. Our coaches are trained and know how to recognize concussions, and then we also try to make sure that we see doctors and all that, follow the concussion protocol, take care of the boys. So they'll just sign that form saying you agree to it. Again, same thing. Email it, save it. Last name, first name, concussion acknowledgement. Last name, first name, medical release. Order equipment 6. I'm gonna go through that here in a second. Keep going up, Brent. Travel waiver is step 7. On that, y'all need to put down any person that your player is gonna ride to. When Tanner shows y'all our schedule from last year, we traveled far. You'll have practices far away, just different things. And so you may not, as a mom, be able to get off work in time to take your kid or whatever. Well, we have to have permission for your kid to ride with somebody else. So put down as many people as you want. There is no limit to it. Just put everybody down. It's better to get safe than have to come back and do it later. Okay? You're welcome to put any of the coaches. The coaches are allowed to take players as long as it's not a coach and an athlete alone. They cannot do that. LHCA has a policy where we cannot have an athlete alone with a coach, either in a car, hotel room, anything like that. Just safety issues. So, with as many people. 9 is your birth certificate. We have to turn those in. If you don't know, the Titans football team is under an organization called TEO. TEO is like UIL for public schools. Okay, so TEO allows us to have a competition with other homeschools, other charter schools, other private schools, and we get to have a, how would you say it, Brent, at the end, like the
Playoffs.
Thank you. Like a playoff bracket. I'm like, what are we saying? So our high school teams at the end of the season, we finish our regular 10-week season, and then we go into playoffs. So we play teams from Dallas, Stephenville, we play teams south, anywhere like that. And so, they're kind of like our governing body, just like UIL is. And so in order to be sure that we're legit, we gotta turn in your birth certificates. Homeschoolers are known for playing 20-year-old mustache boys. Well, we can't do that. The Titans have an integrity, and we're not gonna do that. So, if you have a 20-year-old mustache boy, I'm gonna catch it on the birth certificates, okay? So, I need those, so again, scan them in. Step 10 is strength and conditioning. It's gonna be due on May 19th, it's a little different, and we're gonna explain what it is. Team fees, those are due, team fees are due later in July. So equipment fees are gonna be due here in a couple of weeks. I'll go through this in a second. And then team fees are gonna be due later. Last year, this was our first year to do it, we had a lot of questions. To pay all of these, so you're paying everything through our website. Well, it goes through our PayPal account. We're very lucky, Joel Zavala is our treasurer for our board, and so he handles all that. So we're kind of lucky because Crystal and I have our Ann right there, and we can say, hey Joel, what about this? But anyway, it all goes through PayPal. But here's the thing, guys, you do not have to have a PayPal account to do any of this. We had a lot of families last year that were like, I don't have PayPal, I can't pay through the website. Yes, you can. All you have to have is a credit card or a debit card, okay? Because here's the deal. Crystal and I are not accepting any papers or any checks, any payment, anything like that. Everything is through the website, everything payments, everything's on the website. It just helps us out. We've got documentation on it, and it doesn't go through our hands, okay? Physical, that is set up, what do you do, Crystal, the physical, May 20th?
May 20th.
Okay, we have Sports Zone.
Yes.
Sports Zone, we worked with them in the past, they do physicals on a Saturday, I think it's $20 or $25, it's cheap, they get you in and out, and you get it done. If you don't want to go to them, go to your family doctor, there's other places that you can call and get a physical, simple process. But we need those before you can set foot on the football field in August. So those are due July 25th, again, email them, last name, first name, physical, then email them, okay? So those are the 12 steps of the registration process. I know that was long, but this is the main thing that we need from tonight. Okay, when we get this, you'll have everything filled out, you're a Titan, you're a football player, and we'll get you going. Yes, April?
Just going back to the travel waiver, if you guys are new and you don't know anybody to put names down, just come up to one or two of us and we can give you information if you're okay with us taking it in. I know for my first year, I knew no one, so my travel waiver was pretty much blank. So if you need help in filling that out, just talk to them.
And April has a big family and has a big bus, big van, so she can haul a lot of people. So April's a great one she's really helpful, so she is. But one of the things that we do try to pride ourselves on with the Lubbock Titan football team is a family atmosphere. We do encourage families to come to the practices. It's kind of fun that the boys are out there practicing, and then I bet there's 40 little kids running on the sidelines up and around. So there's more kids than there are actually players half the time. We like to eat together, you'll see later. We like to do fun activities together. So we want this to be a family thing. Don't make it just send your kids out there and you never see us. We like to be together at games, we like to hang out, we eat after games together, we eat before games together, just different things. So just make it a family night, come to football, because I have to break it to you, but football's gonna be your life from now until December. You're gonna eat, you're gonna live, you're gonna breathe football. That's just what it is. We love it, but it's a time commitment. We'll talk about that later as well. So get all that done, and I'm gonna talk about team fees for high school, and then Tanner did junior high. Greg, can you switch it over to the second tab? Go to the top. No, the second one. No, that way. Yeah. And then go down all the way to top two, okay? Even players, y'all kind of listen a little bit so you know what you need, because you need to help mom say, I need this, I don't need this, because when you go to registration and you're doing your forms, there's a spot where it says NA. So if you don't need your jersey, you don't have to buy one, okay? Yes. Not yet, but they have papers. Yeah, everybody's got a paper. I know it's hard to see, they have the papers in front of them. Okay, so, if you've heard, football is very expensive. It does break the bank, it kind of stinks, but, a blessing is you can reuse the equipment year after year if you don't grow. You can buy equipment from other people. You can sell equipment, anything like that. We also have raffle tickets that we sell. The ladies are doing it tonight. Whatever you get, however many raffle tickets you sell, you get a percentage off that. In the past, it's been anywhere from $8.50 to $9. So if you sell 10 tickets, you can make $90 right there. So if this right here, if you're a brand new person and you buy everything, it can cost you $1,500. And so you might just go, oh, I did. I had 3 boys playing. And I was like, what are we gonna do? Guys, I got on Facebook and I just said, my boys are selling raffle tickets, and we sold, I think, 50 last year. And so it more than half paid for ours. So there's ways. Don't let this 1,500 scare you, okay? We can help you, and we break it down in different parts. So just really quick, helmets. If you have helmets from last year, you can reuse them. You can reuse a helmet for 2 years. At the end of 2 years, I get your helmet if you're going to play again, and I send it off to be reconditioned. It's about $80. It's a lot cheaper than paying $400 for a new helmet. Okay? We choose as a team to use Rydell helmets for the high school. We just feel like they're the best quality. We can show you some statistics and stuff if you like, but a lot of schools are using it, and we found them safe to protect our boys. Their heads are pretty special, and they have their rings in them, and we want to protect it. So that's the one we chose to go with. Shoulder pads, we use Rydell as well, and both the helmets and shoulder pads have to be adult sizes. So I have a little one that moved up to high school last year. He needed youth sizes because the adults were too big. No go. We still had to buy an adult. Okay, so if you have junior high pads, they're youth sizes. You cannot use those. You've got to move up to high school and adult sizes. Let's see. Yes, sir. You do not have to use Rydell. I know Landon uses Zenith. Zach uses Zenith too, didn't you? Okay, so we've had people that buy their own helmets. Get what you want. Every player may have something that fits them different. Some of our kids like the shut. We do not care what you use. It is your preference on how well you want to protect your kids and what you feel like is the best quality in your price range. Okay? So if you do not, this right here is what I'm going to buy for you. This is what the team will get together. If you don't want this, buy your own or whatever. It's not going to hurt our feelings if you don't get a cut off of this. Like, I'm not making any money off of any of these. This is at cost for them. So do what you want. If you even want to go find your own black pants, here in a minute I'll explain. You can buy your own black pants. I just try to make it easy, and Tanner did the same thing for junior high. This is what we have. We'll just do a bulk deal, and it's all there together. Okay? Helmets and shoulder pads, I talked to the rep today, and they did go up. So if you're going to be looking for some, he said they went up. Everything went up. And of course, we all know that everything's going up. So I apologize, but I did have to increase those costs. If you do need an extra large or bigger helmet, you do need to add $15 extra. So it just costs more. Okay, so practice. The kids are going to show up, and when they have their pads on, so wearing the black football pants that have the pads built into them, and then they have a white practice jersey that goes over their pads. So up there, it says they need 2 black pants and 2 white practice jerseys. Again, that 2 is kind of totally up to you. Some families like the 2 because then they don't have to do laundry. Some kids got away with 1 all season. I'm not going to tell you how many times my boys wore their white shirts in a week and what color they look like on Friday, but we did it. I just closed the back of the car and didn't smell the rest of it and put them outside. But, so that's up to you. If you wanna get 2 white shirts, 2 white pants, and 2 whites, or if you just wanna try one. I'm not making you, you do what's in your budget. But they're there. Something new up here that the coaches have added is a practice t-shirt and practice shorts. So there are a lot of times that we are not going to be, the players are not gonna be in their pads, especially like the first week of football in July, August, and then even in spring training, they cannot put pads on. So since they can't wear pads, they're gonna have a practice t-shirt and then black shorts. Okay? The practice t-shirt is just gonna be a plain blue t-shirt with a Titan on it and maybe something on the back. The black shorts, we're letting y'all pick. Okay? Every one of these boys, if I ask them which black shorts they like, do you like the short ones? Do you like the long ones? Do you want them with pockets? How do you want them? I can tell you there's gonna be about 20 different answers over there. So we would like your boys to be comfortable and wear what they like. That being said, the coaches ask, do not bring your boys or let your boys show up in the short shorts. Okay? I know that is a style right now, but we don't want to see anything. So please, no short shorts. Okay? So, at least make them long. All you track boys know how long they need to be. Make them long. Okay? Yes, Pinky. Long shorts. Okay, so that's why the black shorts are on there. Buy them on your own. Game uniforms. We will have a black top, black pants, white top, blue pants. Away and home. If you bought those last year, you do not have to buy them again this year. We are keeping them. Okay? If you grew or if yours got torn up or something, yes, you need to buy some more. But if they didn't, reuse them. Save that $170. Game compression shirts. So the boys had black compression shirts that were under their pads on game days. If you still have those, use them again. You don't have to buy them. Okay? So when you go to the website, there's going to be a spot. How many do you want and the cost and stuff. Well, there's also says NA. So if you don't need a jersey, put NA and it won't charge you. Okay? So that's the cost of all the equipment. All of the equipment, okay, y'all listen to this because this is important. If you need to buy anything equipment, so on the left side, that is all due on February 24th.
That's this month, people.
That is 2 weeks away, guys. And I know it's rushed. I know you're gonna have to decide like quickly if your kid is playing or not, or if this is for your family. And I apologize for that, and I don't want that. But guys, I talked to my rep today, and to get any helmets or pads, it's gonna be 8+ weeks. We have spring training that's in April that we need the helmets and pads for. If we don't have them, we're scrambling to find something to protect your kids, and they can't practice. Okay, and that defeats our whole purpose. So I understand budgets, I understand paychecks, I get all that. So if you're having trouble, like meeting the February 24th deadline as far as payment, please just talk to me, okay? We have money to cover it, we have money to get it going. The big thing is, I need to know what you want, okay? So even if you can't pay that helmet by 2/24, I need to know you need that helmet. If I don't know you need that helmet, I can't get it for you, and your kid may not have a helmet. They said if I wait past March, there's a chance we won't get any equipment. NFL orders, college orders, high school orders, and we're put on the back burner. Okay? So if I don't order by the end of February, we're not getting it. So I'm not trying to be mean, and I hate rushing it all, but that's what I'm having to do. Okay? So any questions on equipment? That was a lot. Good? Okay, team fees, really quick. Again, your membership is $40. If you are not a Titan member, LHCA, pay it now. That's due on the 24th. And then if you are a member, do not pay until after August 1st. It's going to be due August 4th. So that's a quick turnaround because you've got to be covered under our insurance and stuff. Legalities. Officials and field is $100. For those of you that don't know, we play out at Wilson. Wilson ISD. We rent their field. For us to rent their field and pay for officials, it's a lot. It's a lot of money. We charge for gate fees, but half the time, the gate fees don't even cover our officials in the field. It really stinks. We wish we had our own field, but that's the way it is. Those that also don't know, we practice at St. John Newman's Church. They have a field back behind. It's over on Frankfurt and like 21st, back behind kind of by the old academy and LCU's new track. That's where we practice, and we don't pay for that, so that's a blessing. But when we go to fields, we do. So that's why. No, we're good. I can keep going. Okay, so that's why we have to have the official fields. Insurance, we have to have insurance to cover our players. Teo, that's our association, like the UIL that I covered. Huddle, that is the video program that your kids will get on with the coaches. The coaches will communicate with them, and that is how they're going to watch film for the next week. They get to watch what Rankin did, they watch what Stephenville Faith did, and watch plays, that kind of thing. We have a banquet at the end of the year, so that $40 covers the rental of the facility, your players' meal, and also coaches' gifts. The $20 for the team t-shirt is a shirt that we buy every year for the players that they wear to the games. It will have something with Titans on the back, and we have some sponsors, and I'm going to put some fun stuff on the back this year, change it up a little bit. So that's what that $20 is. So our total team fee is $430. If I believe I'm correct, that was what it was last year, or it may be $10 cheaper. So hopefully I maybe save some money in that area for you, kind of move some numbers around, but it still is a lot just to play football. So if you look at it, the team equipment, that is due on February 24th, and then strength and conditioning that Brent's going to talk about, that is going to be due on May 19th, and then all these team funds are due on 7/25 in July. So we kind of try to spread it out so it's not, boom, here it is all at once. But that is the Titan High School cost. So Tanner's going to touch on junior high. Anybody else have questions about high school? Registration, any of that? Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. I know that was a lot. Oh, yes.
Some of you new guys, if you're unsure about football, if you're unsure about playing hockey, maybe you're unsure about football itself. If you come to spring training, okay, you have to pay your equipment fee. What else do you have to pay?
That's it, just equipment.
Right? Okay. If for some reason you go through spring training, you're like, hey, this just isn't for us, okay? We can't give you a full refund on your equipment, but we'll try to help you get out of it somehow, okay? And then you wouldn't have to pay the rest of it. So, I'm just saying that so you guys, maybe, we can't call it tryouts because, they will not let us have football tryouts. In other words, hey, come try it out, if you think you're good enough, you can come play. We can't do that. It's totally up to you guys. But if you come to spring training, try it out, and you say, hey, I just don't think that's for us, we'll try to help you recoup some of the costs. It won't be all of it, I can't say exactly what it'll be, a lot of it may involve, we'll take your helmet and try to sell it, or you, shoulder pad and try to sell it, something like that. So, anyway, I would encourage you, if you're all interested, I know it's a rush to get that much money together, but, don't feel like you're totally locked into it at that point. So, okay.
Okay, and again on cost, remember raffle tickets. The raffle tickets we have right now are not due till March 22nd, and the drawing's gonna be March 29th. So unfortunately, the spring raffle ticket cannot be applied to your equipment cost, but it can be applied to your team fees, okay? And also, on the registration, I forgot to mention that, but there will be a spot where you can see your credit amounts. Down at the bottom, when you get ready to sign up, it says view athletes credits, and I think you put a negative and you put that amount in there and it will deduct it. So I did those last night. A lot of y'all have credit. Like Noah Sawyer has nearly $900. If he was playing high school, he could nearly pay for it just through raffle tickets. So it's doable, guys. This is expensive, it is. But you sell your raffle tickets. Okay, one other thing, February 16th, next Thursday, we are having a try-on date, and that's where we're gonna try on, we'll have equipment, the helmet, the shoulder pads, and the pants for every size. So if you're like me, our first year, I had no clue what what size my boys were wearing. I didn't trust myself. We have a sizing chart on the registration. You can go to Academy and you can figure it out, but I still needed that second pair of eyes as a mama. I needed that reassurance. And so we had the coaches that helped, and they're like, no, that's too big. No, that helmet shakes too much. Yes, that works. So on the 16th, we're gonna have that try-on date. Okay, so old families, if y'all have any gear that you don't need, we're gonna get, I think Tiffany's gonna help me gather it up, because I don't live in Lubbock, I live in Lamesa. But we're gonna gather up all your old stuff. You're gonna put a price tag on it, you're gonna put your name on it, and you're gonna bring it, and we're gonna sell it. So all you newbies might get to buy some of that stuff cheaper, and it's fine. I mean, if my boys' hands don't look like they've been worn, their helmets are their pads, it's okay, unless your helmet is high school and needs to be reconditioned, but everything else you can resell. Okay? So February 16th, you can buy stuff or you can sell your stuff. So that will help too with cost.
Brent, we'll switch it over. So I'll go through just pull up your got a junior high athlete, gonna play, just pull that sheet up with the highlighted yellow on it. And you look at the far left there, it's just itemized, top to bottom with the due date and how much everything costs. And this is your way of being able to figure out, if I already have this, and I have this, and I have this, you can take that off that 415 uniform and gear total. And as far as like youth versus adult shoulder pad, there's a small difference. And when it says adult shoulder pad, it's still a youth graded shoulder pad, so you can't necessarily use it once you get into varsity. But it's a youth grade adult shoulder pad. So that's why the price difference between high school and junior high. And I have it on here, everything quantity one. So kind of like Cheryl was saying, if you guys decide that you want 2 pants or more socks, that's on you. I just want everything to be the bare minimum, and everything else, if you want to upgrade it, that's on you. As far as all the dues for uniform and gear, we're gonna have everything due on the 6th of March. I got a couple extra weeks built in because the junior high gear doesn't go quite as fast as the high school gear, but I did talk to the rep today, and we're still looking at 6 to 7 weeks, and that's today. I mean, that could change in the next few weeks, but that's what we're gonna go with for now. So like I said, if you want extra pants, you want extra game pants, practice jerseys, so you don't have to do as much laundry, that's on you, but everything on there is quantity one. And if you go over to the feet section, just start at the top, that 415, that's everything right there, less the team shirt. So that's the amount that's gonna be due right off the bat if you don't have any gear whatsoever. And if you're brand new, you look at the yellow section there, it's gonna be $455 due on the 6th, and that's because you have to pay that $40 fee to become a member of LHCAA. So, and you guys, my contact info's on here, Crystal's contact info's on here. You got any questions on this, just text me or email me or whatever, I can answer it pretty quick. As far as forms that are required, we've got, basically, if it says website, you refer over here to this website, type it in, and that's where you're gonna do all your forms, that'll come with your registration. Football agreement, code of conduct, that's both gonna be signed email, just like was already mentioned, and the physical from the doctor. So I don't actually have to have that until we start playing football, so that's gonna be due, right before we begin on July 31st. And if you're unsure of like your grade and age, I put the Teo 236 eligibility right there on the bottom right, so you can go through there and make sure your child is eligible to play. If you guys are right there, just a little below or a little above, let me know, we can chat. Sometimes I can get exemptions if it's within, a week or two. So if you've got a boy that's 10 years old that doesn't turn 11 by May 31st, and he turns 11 on June 10th, I mean, let's have a conversation, because this eligibility wasn't necessarily created to keep younger kids from playing, it was created to keep the older kids from playing down. So let's have that conversation before you guys just go, oh, we're out and we got nothing to do here. Is there any questions on that? I know I went through it really fast. I mean, I can answer questions in real time. If you've got a question, somebody else probably does. No? All right. So that's all I was really gonna talk about, all the fees. It's pretty self-explanatory, hopefully. And then if you'll flip that sheet of paper over, I'll just kind of go through the tentative schedule for the year. We're gonna start our spring training, on May 1st, which is gonna be a week delayed from high school. So just know that we do have different start and end dates. And, junior high is only gonna do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for an hour and a half. And the first 4 days is just gonna be a acclimatization period, I guess is what Teo calls it. So we won't have, anything on but shorts, t-shirt, and shoes. And that's gonna be for those first 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then the following Monday. And then that next Tuesday will be in full gear until the 25th of May. I hate to say this, but spring training is voluntary. I hate to mention that, but I have to because Teo tells me to. I definitely recommend it because if you don't participate in spring training, the first time that your boy's gonna be in pads is about 7 practices before their first game. So this gives us some time. It also gives your kids some time to figure out if football is really for them or not. And the same thing with what Brent said. I mean, if you guys get into spring training, you get 3 or 4 days in, and you're like, yeah, this ain't for me, because by day 7 or 8, I mean, we're gonna be in some real physical drills, and your boy will be able to tell you real quick if it's for him or not. So, that being said, I'll work with you, we'll figure out a plan if you do by year, and you need out. Because we're always having, kids come to us, parents come to us in June, July, talking about joining in August. And if you have gear that you're trying to get rid of, I guarantee you it won't be hard to get rid of. And then as far as July, all that really is just a summer conditioning. It's a short, this year's gonna be 7 days with the way that the 4th of July fell. And basically all that is just getting everybody ready, getting everybody back in shape, getting everybody used to the hot weather that they're gonna be practicing in full pads. So that'll be, we pushed that out to 7 to 9 because, as you guys know, it's very hot in July. And we'll definitely take care of your kid. We're not going to go overheated or dehydrated. As long as you guys hydrate your kid well before practice starts. So that being said, I think you guys can look at this and realize junior high does no practices on Wednesdays. That's something that doesn't start until the varsity level. As far as your in-season practice, so this year, UIL, Teo, TAPS, everything's starting on July 31st as opposed to August 1st. So we're gonna start that Monday, and you'll have a week off at the end of July. And this is where I always take the moment to say, please take your vacation at the end of July and not the second week of August if you can. Because there's very little time between our first practice and our first game, and every practice really counts. And so we'll go, on Mondays, we'll go from 5:30 to 8, and just kind of give you a little, what we do on Mondays is sometimes we'll do film from the previous week, and every Monday we do a devotional. We'll take 15, 20 minutes, and Mr. Tracy Spencer, the one that opened us the prayer today, he takes 15 minutes, and we take this back to the basics. We take it back to why we're here, what we're doing, and take it back to the Word of God. And then throughout the week, us coaches can take what Mr. Spencer did and apply it to the week and tie in whether we're talking about Gideon or David or whoever it is, and we'll work our practices around that. And because we're doing a lot more than just playing football, we're trying to create, godly, hardworking, high integrity. So, as far as our Thursday and Friday practices go, and during the regular season, it's always going to be varying because of the schedule. Because JV and junior high typically play on Thursdays, varsity plays on Fridays, sometimes we play on Saturdays. And when we do that, it's just going to vary because we won't know until we get a little further into getting all of our games scheduled. And junior high will not practice if JV or varsity has a game. We won't practice. I got a kid on high school, I know a lot of people do as well, so I just take that day off so you can go watch your high school kids play. And then as the season goes on, obviously, you know, the lighting changes, so practice times will vary slightly, but it'll be very slightly, 30, 45 minutes. And this year, it's gonna be very simple as far as your away attire, and your home attire. It's gonna be very simple. Everybody's wearing the same color pants year-round, and white jersey for away, home jersey is gonna be black, and black socks. It's gonna be very simple. And for like, if you guys want to think about, so while we're traveling to games, I mean, I'll have you there an hour before kickoff. And that's just so we can get everybody in the same place, get everybody gritted up, get everybody a little warm, get all the junior high boys to get on the same page hopefully, because we don't have the luxury of the UIL schools where they're together all week, every week. And I'm gonna go back to this, I forgot to mention something on the jerseys. So if you're returning this year, the silver jersey that we wore last year is, y'all can hang it on the wall, you can put it in a frame, whatever you're gonna do. Silver jersey's gone forever and ever, amen. And we're gonna, so if you are a returner and you have all your gear, you still must purchase a white away jersey. And I made that a lot more affordable than I did the year before. The year before, I believe that number was 65 for the jersey. I got it down to 40. I worked with Cardinals and my other rep to get a better price. So, that being said, you must purchase that if you're a returner. If you already have the black, nothing's gonna change there, nothing's changed on the pants. We have black socks from last year, so that'll be the only like required thing that you must pay for.
Okay, so he talked a little bit about his schedule before I get to spring training and strength and conditioning. The high school will be out there 5 days a week. Okay, we tried to skip Wednesdays, and we just felt like there wasn't enough time in the week that way to get everything we needed to get in to go play a good game that week. So our schedule will look on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. High school practice will start at 6, at least at the beginning of the season. Now, when the days get shorter, we'll probably move that up to 5:30 or 5, or whatever we need to do. But in August, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, probably Friday for the first week or two, practice will start at 6. It will run until 8:30, so 2.5 hours of practice. Okay, on Wednesdays, we meet earlier. We started either 4 or 4:30, but we're trying, I know that there's a lot of you guys that attend church on Wednesday, and so we want to encourage that. We want you guys to attend that, so we'll start early and finish early. And if you have to leave before practice is over on Wednesday, we'll let you do that. So we want you guys to be able to go. If you attend church on Wednesday, we want you to do that. Along with that, along those lines, my family attends church on Wednesday except for football season because we're playing football and we live an hour away. We go to a small church, we don't have much of a youth group. One of the things that we're going to try this year, and this is not mandatory, but after practice on Wednesday, if you don't have a church that you go to and you want to be part of the Devo, maybe get to eat, hang out with the kids, we're planning to have that on Wednesday. So, we encourage you guys, it's really good for, especially homeschool kids, because they don't get to go to school every day, they don't get to hang out with their friends. It'll be a great opportunity to hang out with them, have a little Devo, get to eat together. Anyway, we're excited about that. So, anybody have any questions about practice schedule? Okay. Spring training. So April 25th and May 19th, that's the last of the run for 4 weeks. 4 days a week. We won't go Wednesdays during spring training. I think April 25th is a Tuesday, is that right? We've got the track. Track will be way down yonder, and they need to travel back Monday, so we're going to start Tuesday. So So April 25th, and it'll run through the third week of May. We'll get, the last week of May, we'll have off for Memorial Day. That way, if you got any plans that week, you can have those. The first 4 days will be without pads. It will just be in the practice t-shirt, is what we call conditioning. We're required by TAO to do that, to acclimatize, and then on the 5th day, we'll put pads on. Spring training, there will be contact, but it'll be more fundamentals, blocks, tackles, maybe footwork, agility, just working on the basics. And then usually we will incorporate some plays, some offense, some defense, and the last day we usually have a scrimmage amongst ourselves. So anyway, that's spring training. If you new guys, like I said, if you get into this deal, you go through spring training, and man, this is just not for me, we'll try to help you recoup some of those costs. That would be the point where, you want to get out. If you don't, and I'm not, we don't want to discourage anybody or encourage anybody to leave. If you get on this thing, we want you to be part of it. If you stick with it, we have, during the off season. So we have a coach, he, don't want to scare you guys, he has a CrossFit gym. And he helps us with our strength and conditioning during the summer. It will not be CrossFit workouts. He has a CrossFit gym, but it will not be CrossFit workouts. He was a college football player. He won state when he was in high school. He is going to put together a strength and conditioning program. And it's only 4 weeks, so there's only so much you can do within 4 weeks. He's going to put a program together that is designed to enhance football players. Okay? It will be, last year we did a lot of weights, a lot of strength training. This year there will be weights and strength training, but there's also going to be more agility, more things that focus on quickness, getting off the ball, agility, that sort of thing. So that will run June 5th through July 20th, give or take. The dates may change, we may be off a day or two, we got to get together and make sure we got it right. But basically, it'll run from the 1st of June to the 3rd week of July. We'll have 1 week off. Like Tanner said. If you want to take vacation, please schedule that vacation before August 1st, okay? Okay, off-season training. You're paying for it. If you're going to play football, high school football, you're going to pay for it. So, is it mandatory? No, it's not mandatory. Bring your kid to it though, okay? It's not something that we want you to miss out on. Okay? Spring training and strength and conditioning. Part of this is for fundamentals, to get them acclimatized, to get them used to pads, to see what it's like. Maybe they don't know anything, maybe they don't know what sweep right is. We teach them what sweep right is, sweep lift. They will learn some things. More than that, homeschool kids don't go see their friends every day. They don't go to school, they don't associate with somebody, there's not this network. If you're in UIL school, they're on the recess, they're on the playground, they're throwing the football with one another, they're playing basketball, they're doing lots of things. These are opportunities, more than the strength and conditioning, more than the agility, more than the mechanics of football. Bigger than that, this is an opportunity for the kids to get together, to bond together, to do things together, to get to know one another, so that when we get to football season, they're meshed together, okay? So, that's what we're trying to do with spring training and the strength and conditioning. So, if you have, so spring training, if you're playing baseball, anybody playing baseball? Okay, well, I guess we don't have any conflicts in it? You're playing baseball, okay. If you're playing baseball and you're in high school, we want your kid to go play baseball. If it conflicts with strength and conditioning, we don't want it, not strength and conditioning, with spring training, we want you to go play baseball. Okay, that's a solid excuse, okay? So if you got some other events, maybe you're in 4-H, maybe you're in whatever it is. Okay, we understand that, we want you to do that, we encourage that. If you're not, if you don't have a good excuse, come to spring training, you're gonna get a lot out of it, okay? You're gonna get a lot out of it. Strength and conditioning. Summer, people are in and out during the summer. If you're gone for a week, that's fine. If you're gone for a week, if you're going to Florida, to Disney World or Disneyland or whatever it is you want to do, that's fine. Do it during the summertime. If you can do it the last week of July, but we know that's not, everybody can't do that. So, anyway, please do on your vacation during the summer. Please, come to the strength and conditioning. It's really good for the kids. And then the third thing, when we get to August, don't plan a vacation after August 1st. It's like, I think somebody said, it's like football's life, and yeah. If you're gone a week, the football, we start from ground zero week 1, we build. If you miss a week, your kid, it just seems like they get a week behind and they never quite catch up. Okay, so it's a big deal.
Okay, who knows what group me is? Who has a group me or 20? So, that's what I'm gonna talk to y'all about, is communication, for this season. We're done with group me. Y'all can clap. It's a good thing, it's a good thing. Okay, we're gonna use the Stack Team app. So, in the past, we've had a high school group me, we've had a junior high group me, we've had the Stack Team app, and, oh, Steve, your wife today was like, I know I saw something somewhere, but then it's all over the place. So, we're done with that. Everything is gonna be on the Stack Team app. Does anybody not play other sports and use the Stack Team app? Don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, so if you search in your app store for Stack Team, I don't think y'all know that. That big. Oh yeah, there it is. It looks like that. Get that downloaded to your phone, and then once you register, we will send you an invite to be added to the Lubbock Titans football portion of the Stack Team app. And that is where everything is going to be communicated. Hold on, I'm going to this is going to do a few things. You're only going to have one app for football. You're only going to have one place to look for football information. It's a good thing. You can also have semi-private chats within the team app. So if moms still think they need to talk about mom things that they normally did on GroupMe, you can create a chat and add moms to it. And then the dads and the players aren't seeing that, don't have to be involved in that. And we can delete stuff once we're done with it and move on. It's also going to, we have a goal of the beginning of every week this season, we're gonna try to get you information for the week. Whether that be on Sunday or Monday, we're gonna try to say, okay, if there's been any changes to practice, here's your information. Or, hey, we have a game on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the details about the game. That'll come out hopefully at the beginning of the week. We're gonna try to be pretty diligent on that. Also, on the calendar, mine's hard to short and sweet. Do we have anything to show? The calendar?
Not on the staff.
I'm done with Team App. This is our website, and there's a calendar on the website, but I'm also able to create events and kind of create calendar information on the Team App, and I'll be doing that to try to get you all the game times and location, all that fun stuff. know what just happened. Just type it down. Do we have? Oh, I want to say this too. How many parents have kids in junior high and high school? I'm sorry, I do. Y'all pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I don't know if you've caught when the coaches have been up here talking. It's different, like from spring training to practices to start times to end times, it's different. And so all of that would be on the STAC team app to try to help your brain, maybe. We have, what about the calendar just for the season? Do you have that up or should I just look at that on my phone? Just all the events. Cheryl mentioned that we're gonna try to hang out, since we don't have the luxury of our boys going to school together and seeing each other throughout the year at school. We're gonna try to have a lot of extra things. Okay, we'll keep going. We're gonna have Tiffany, raise your hand. She does restaurant fundraisers for us. So that's just a time for us to all go eat together and raise money for the team. So we'll have those kind of dates on the team app, on the website. We have some Titan Fun Nights coming up. We have one in February, one in April, one in May. All of this is coming. I'm not gonna go over specific dates right now because y'all will go to sleep tonight, not me. We're gonna have fan gear that comes out. Fan gear, like anything you see Titan, we're gonna sell that in the spring and in the fall. Yes, okay. And we've got a youth mini football camp. Has anybody participated in that? If you've got a kid that's not gonna be a sixth grader but loves all things football and they have to wait another year or two, we're gonna have football camp. It's a fundraiser. All of this information is coming, I promise. Football picture day. We are going to do Meet the Titans on August 4th. We are going to do football picture day that day as well. Again, details on all of that will come. We will have, we're pretty set, right, on homecoming. Homecoming, you can put this in your calendar right now, October 7th, it's a Saturday. And we will have the bonfire the Saturday before, which is September 30th. We will have a dance, hopefully, the Sunday after the game, October 8th. Junior high will have a banquet in November 16th. High school will have a banquet December 5th. Is that there? And we also try to give back to the community and serve. Cheryl heads up a time to serve at Carpenter's Kitchen. That will be September. No, that'll be in September. All of this stuff I'm going to get on the STAC team app and on the Titan website. And another thing that will be on the STAC team app is all the documents. We go over a lot of information. All the documents, I won't go over them again, but they will be under documents, if that makes sense, on the STAC team app. Is all this clear as mud? Okay, so when we create events for the games, whoever that may be, me or somebody else, when we create events, say there's a game Friday, there's a game Saturday, and you don't want to have to keep going back to the team app to find that information, if you will look in the top right-hand corner of your app when you're on the calendar for the games, you can link, and it'll walk you through it. It'll let you link all of those games and put them on your calendar on your phone. And then it's just there. If you do that, yes, ma'am. It should. Didn't it, Tiff, didn't it update last year?
Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes.
Okay, so we will change them as they change. If it doesn't update in your calendar, I think your best bet is always to look at the team.
I have to tell you how much you owe, and now I gotta tell you the bad parts of the rules that we have. So, as I said, we do have a Titan board that oversees all of the sports. You're pretty blessed in football to have several board members here. I'm the secretary for it. Joel is our treasurer, and then Amanda Smith that's behind the camera. She is our social media liaison. I believe there's 10 of us on the board. Is that right? 10 of us, and so we're here to make it work for y'all. Our interests are for the players, trying to make it where they can play as much as they want. We try to create an atmosphere that is very similar to public school kids, but still being able to be a Christian homeschool association. So anyway, if you ever have any questions, any concerns, you can speak to one of us, or the website has all of our contact information of all the other board members. Just reach out to us and we can help you. But since we are a governing organization, we have to have some rules. It kind of stinks, but that's rules make life work and keeps everybody together. So on our website, we talked about it a little bit when you do your registration, but you're gonna have to read the you don't have to read the bylaws. If you need to read them, they're there, has lots of information for you. But the main thing you want to look at is the 51% homeschool description. And I don't think I have that one pulled up, Brent, but when you go to, up there at the top of the website, it says LHCA info. These documents will all pull up, and you click on that 51% homeschool. Basically, what that's saying is most of your students' time has to be spent in homeschool. So you can't be at KPA, you can't be at Texas Tech, any of those places where they are doing more than 51% of your schooling. Like if you have a junior or senior and they're taking dual credits, those dual credits cannot be more than 51%. Okay? So like my son is a senior this year, he has taken some dual credits, but I still have enough classes at home that I am teaching him to offset that. So when you click on that, oh, great. It has a little chart. It tells you what is allowed, what's not allowed. If you have any questions, just come see us. It's pretty self-explanatory. You homeschool your kids, you play football with us, or whatever. So that is the 51% homeschool. The other thing that we have is, Brent, if it'll pull up on the handbook, a big thing that we've had to go to this year, the Titans was started probably 20, 30 years ago, and it has grown tremendously. When I came onto the board about 6 years ago, we had probably 150 families. I think last year we had close to 300 families. So that's amazing, and it's a good thing, but it's also a hard thing. So as board members, we're trying to push it forward and keep it going. So one of the things that we've had to create is age requirements, and the reason why is we try to play UIL teams. And again, what did I say? Homeschoolers are known for 20-year-old mustache kids. And so we had to create some rules to stop that so that the schools will still play us. These coaches, Tanner and Brent, worked really hard trying to schedule teams, but if the teams think that we're cheating or we have kids that are not in the appropriate ages, different things like that, they're not gonna wanna play us. So we really are trying to keep the integrity of our program. And so Brent, if you'll scroll up a little bit on that handbook. So the board worked really hard and created some, it's right there at the bottom, Brent, the age restrictions. So we've mentioned that we are under TEO, but LHCA is over TEO. So it's kind of like you gotta think about it, LHCA is the umbrella, and we follow their rules, and then we go under TEO, okay? So for junior high, Tanners, your athletes cannot be younger than 10 years. Of course, for us to play in UIL sports, they have to be 11 years to 14 years. High school, they cannot be older than 18 by September 1st. So, like we had some that turned 19 during the playing year, that's fine. But September 1st comes, they better not be 18 when I look at their birth certificate or they don't get to play. Keep going up one more page, Brent, please. Okay, so here's the big thing, is also classification. We started this year, or middle of last year. But whenever you turn 14 years old, you have to declare your grade, okay? When you go into high school. So you have to put on there if you're a 9th grader, 10th grader, 12th grader, 11th grader. And of course, for us as homeschoolers, you ask your kid what grade they're in, and they're like, to be homework, I'm in algebra, I don't know what I'm in. Sorry, you have to decide, okay? And so this has all the rules of, like, down at the bottom it says if you're ninth grade, you're 15 years and you have 4 years of eligibility. 12th grade, 18 years by September 1st, and you have no more years or the 1 year of eligibility. So this is very important, guys. Once you pick your grade, you cannot change it, okay? So if you pick, oh, I'm a ninth grader, or I'm a 10th grader this year, and then mama thinks, oh, I think I might keep you another year, and you stay back, not me. My kids are gone. They turn 18, they're out. But if you decide that, we can't let you do that, okay? Because the reason why is you're gonna be playing this year as a 10th grader, and then if you decide to redo that, you're playing next year as a 10th grader. Well, these public schools know that, and you can't do it in public school. You can't do it in Teo, you can't do it in TAPS, you can't do it anywhere. And so for us to do that, it's not following the rules of all these teams we're trying to play, and not keeping the integrity of the association, okay? So please, high school, when you declare your grade, please know what grade you're gonna be, okay? Just decide right now what you're gonna do. You can always graduate early, but you can't go back a grade, okay? So if your kid's smart and they wanna graduate at 16, that's fine, go for it. But you can't go backwards. Does anybody have questions on like our eligibility as far as schooling or grades? I know that's not a fun thing that I have to discuss.
There's any doubt classified, so you're doing sophomore work, classified as apprentices, you think there might be a chance you want to hang around with your classified as apprentices?
Yeah, last year I had a couple of new kids that came in and they put 11th graders. They have never played before. And I'm like, you're age-wise, you could be a 10th grader and you might could have an extra year if you decide to. Do you want to do that? And those moms were like, yeah, sure. And so even though those kids were doing 11th grade work, we classified them on our roster and everything as 10th graders. And so now they get that extra time. And that's because we did it right then, okay? But if you come back the next year and tell me, oh no, he's old and he meets the age requirements, we want to put him back as a 10, I can't, guys. And it's hard because I'm also the secretary, and so I keep track of all the rosters, and I have all the grades, and I just watch it. I'm held accountable by the board members. So please, as Brent says, if in doubt, go lower if you're allowed to by age. Okay, so that's all the player eligibility. Okay, Brent, I think scroll up to get to like the requirements. No, keep going the other way. Okay, real quick, I'm just going to go over some expectations. Tanner's going to talk a little bit more about it. Keep going up. So LHCAA is a Christian-based organization, and so we expect players, coaches, parents, fans, anybody to, keep going please, to respect that and behave in a Christian-like manner. And keep going. Okay, stop right there. So when you read the handbook, it's going to give you expectations of everybody. So like the coaches, they're expected, number 11, communicate their expectations. They are to place the emotional and physical well-being of their players at the head of their personal desires. Just making the kids the best interest at heart, and then also you can see 12 and 13 that they can't be alone with an athlete or have share a room with an athlete. So those are just some of the things like we expect from the coaches. Brent, keep going up, please. And y'all are required to read this and initial that you read it, so you can go into more details. Players, hey boys, y'all listen up. So y'all are expected to show respect to the players and to the coaches and officials. Be modest, be courteous, dress in a manner that demonstrates personal restraint, communicate to the coach. So if you have a problem, players, go talk to the coach. See if y'all can work it out. And usually they're going to talk to you and y'all can. Seek resolution with teammates following the biblical steps of conflict resolution. Okay, so players, I've got a lot to read right there. All right, Brent, keep going up. Parents. Big thing on parents. Trust the coach to coach the team. Volunteer. We're going to talk about that. Let the officials and umpires call the game. We all get excited. We all don't like something that's called, but you know, they do it and they see it from different from where we do in the stands. So let them do it. Advocate a sports environment that's free of drugs, tobacco, alcohol, or abusive language. So we please ask that watch your language when you're at games or at practices or around anything that's the Titans. Please refrain from your drugs and your alcohol. They are not allowed at Titan events. If we have them, we are going to have to enforce it. And of course, we don't want to do that because it's not nice. So please don't make us. Speak to a board member if you have anything about a coach. Speak to the coach directly, privately, with any concerns.
So I'm going to talk about the time commitments, what it takes to be part of a Titan football team. It is no easy task. And I don't want anyone to go in this thinking that it's easy or you're not going to have to be involved, you're not going to have to drive, you're not going to have to put a lot of miles on your car, because you are. There's been years past where people were quite surprised once it all got started. Can you go ahead and put that schedule up there from last year? Okay. So if you look at the very bottom left-hand corner, it says version 27, October 24th, 2022. So our season was in week 10 when we had our last revision. So that being said, there's going to be a lot of changes throughout the year, 27 last year to be exact, as the year goes on. And if you look over here on the right, all the red numbers, those were all games. And if I remember right, there was about 38 or 39 games between junior high B, junior high A, JV, and varsity. Obviously, you're not required to be at every single game unless you are junior high, JV, or varsity. But that being said, and you can look over here at the address section. I mean, last year we had games as far as Plano, Keene, we had Midland, Stephenville, Rankin, Happy, O'Donnell, Garden City, Whit Harrell, and we play our games at Wilson. So you can see that there is some traveling involved. This year, I don't want to give you guys any false hope, but it's not. It's a little bit different this year. It's not going to be quite as ridiculous, especially in October like it was last year. That's what we're at least hoping for. No guarantees. That being said, I think you can look at that and know that. And once you get on the team app, I'm going to leave that up there on the team app. Crystal, please do that so they can refer to that in the document section so people can kind of get a good idea what last year looked like. And that being said, you probably won't see a 2023 schedule until at minimum probably June is probably when we'll be able to actually release it. Because if I was to release it tomorrow, we would have 400 revisions. So that being said, I mean, we play UIL schools, Teo. We're trying to get some TAP schools to play us. We haven't had that good of luck right now, but lots of UIL. So, because they want us to play and they always want us to travel, but we try to get them to travel too as much as we can. As far as your time commitment when it comes to attending practices are mandatory, and there are repercussions for tardiness. There are repercussions for not showing up, and it usually just involves a whole bunch of running. And if the practice if it gets consecutive within the same week, I mean, you're going to see times where you actually lose playing time. Maybe you lose a series, the first series. It doesn't matter if you're a starter. It doesn't make a difference. If you're not putting in the work, you're not going to get to play. That's just the way it is. Everybody's got to put in the work. That's life lessons right there. So playoffs for Teo as far as the high school level go, they start week 12. And week 12 should be somewhere, it's like the second week of November, if I remember right. So playoffs start week 12. And then obviously, as you guys know, it just depends on if we win or lose, whether we keep going or not. And then as far as so junior high, Teo plays a bowl game every year. And this year, it's always the first Saturday of November. And we try to make it an event. So we all travel over to Cleveland. And the game's in Keene, which is like 10 to 15 minutes away. We all travel to Cleveland. We play a game on Saturday. We used to stay the night, Saturday night, have a little blast, hoorah. Everybody, there's the hotel we stay at, if we stay there again, there's an outdoor basketball court, there's mini golf, so it's a really good time. And that, I usually try, if I have enough players, I usually try to have a full junior high B game and a full junior high A game if I can have enough players. So there's not a single player that's not getting to get out on the field. I want to read the football agreement if you want to pull that up. There's nothing in writing that you guys are going to find. And you probably won't be able to see it, but regardless, I'm going to read through it. If you go to that PDF on the bottom right, you can scroll through there and find it. So it's right there. So this is an agreement that we drafted up this year with input from all. And basically, I'm just going to read it. I'm not even going to go into detail. Titan football is competitive. Our goal is to win football games, whether at a junior high level or a high school level. We're building athletes at the junior high level to feed the Lubbock Titan varsity team. We want junior high athletes entering varsity with all the necessary knowledge and skills to be successful. Football is a team sport. It takes all 6 positions. If you don't know, we play 6-man football. On offense to move the ball and all 6 positions on defense to get a stop. I assure you at some point you may get the feeling your player is not getting enough play time. Hey boys, shut it. Seriously. We as coaches do our best to balance playtime and winning. We understand every player puts in the work, and that is part of being a team, learning life lessons. Grade and age do not play a factor when we are deciding who will start on a week-to-week basis. Attitude, work ethic, and skill are the determining factors. All the volunteer coaches have a difficult job determining who will start week to week. We make the best decision we can. It's not always a popular decision, but we as coaches ask that the parents support our decisions. Lastly, parents. As coaches, we ask that parents please let the coaches be coaches. We want your support and encouragement from the stands, but we ask for no coaching from the stands. We ask that you treat all referees with respect and be a good representation of the Titans at all times. Alcohol is strictly prohibited at events. Volunteering to help throughout the season is what makes this organization successful. Titan football expects its parents to volunteer to help with team needs whenever possible. Communication is key to a successful program. Coaches expect clear communication from parents and players on any and all deviation from practice in any scheduled event. And we're going to ask both parents and athlete, if indeed there are both parents, to sign this. And this is actually going to be something you actually sign with a pen on your phone or whatever, and you scan and email it in, because typically when somebody has to check a box, they're a lot less likely to read something, but if they actually have to put their signature on it, they will read it. So that being said, this is just my way of saying, we love you kids. We love what we do, we love this program, we want it to be successful, but it has to work together as a unit from top to bottom to be successful going forward. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is donations that we'll ask for throughout the season. They won't be extensive, they won't be ridiculous. So every year we have a bonfire in the fall, typically, it's always the week before homecoming, and we always ask everybody to bring something. Our goal this year is to never exceed $20 per family when we ask somebody to bring something. So whether it be bottled water, chips, snacks, whatever it is, $20 is going to be our cap. And we're going to make sure we don't pull on the same people week in and week out just because they say yes. So that is our goal there. And then we have a dance. Usually we have a dance or two. I can't remember every year. Same thing goes with that. We'll ask you guys to bring some snacks and stuff like that. But it will never exceed $20. If it does, let us know. And we'll make adjustments because we're not perfect. So, and then since we're on the topic of volunteers, I want Audra to come up here and talk about volunteers and how we are going to run our program this year. By the way, you don't know that was my wife? I'll draw them.
Hi, y'all. I want to know all of my past Titan families. So if you participated in Titan football in the 2022 season, please stand up. If you're already standing, raise your hand. I want to see all y'all. All the kids. Okay. 2021, stay standing. 2020, stay standing. Still alive. Okay. 2019. You got this? Denise? Yeah, definitely. All right, 2018. I would sit down because of Connie, Ruth, Spence, Melanie, Jude. You're here. I didn't see you. Okay, 2017. Wow. 2016. 2015, was there one? All right, 2014. I don't think so. All right, y'all can all sit down. That's some longevity, y'all, and that's a testament. I thought it was 14. Is it longer?
12 or 13, I'm not sure.
Really? I didn't realize it was going on that long. Oh yeah, high school. All right, y'all give her a hand clap, y'all. I just really wanted to know. Okay, I'm really excited. Can't tell. When I walked in the door tonight, I felt like I was at a family reunion. I was excited to see all my football people. Really, I am. I'm really excited to talk to y'all, potential people and people returning, about being a part of our Titan serving and volunteering groups this year. We're going to shake things up, do things a little different. I hope it works. We'll see. But the most important thing I can say to you right now is we need all of you, not just the kids. We need all of you for this to be a success. I know it's really easy when you walk in a room like this and you see all these people to feel kind of intimidated or think, I don't think I can belong. Well, we all were those people that walked in and thought, I don't think I can connect. You can, and it's so much better for your kids. Like Cheryl said and someone else said, it's a family thing. And I think it makes a really big difference when, as parents, we have some skin in the game. I really, as I started helping out and getting to know people, I enjoyed this so much more than I did when I was just a bystander. We all have the opportunity this year to elevate the entire Titan football experience by having a willing heart and willing hands, and that's the truth. Really. How awesome is it that as volunteers, and I'll go over some of the categories in a minute, if you were volunteering at the gate, taking the money, you get to be the first face that someone sees to represent the Titans. That's amazing. For someone that is going to film the game, you get to be a hero to all of these boys and all of the coaches, because that film goes on Huddle, and they all watch it, and they all make their little highlight reels. And I know, as parents, you've already heard the amount of money you're going to pay. And it's a lot. But you know what? We all pay that. I heard someone say last year, well, the coaches get a discount. No, we don't. Coaches do not. Coaches, players, kids do not get discounts. No one here gets a single cent of the money that you're going to be paying. And I really feel like I need to stress that, because some people think that. It's my goal this year to give our coaches' vision that they've shared fresh legs to run with. My plan is to improve the volunteering experience in a few ways. One, by erasing the imaginary line that there's coaches and then there's volunteers. Coaches are volunteers. Another way is to have everyone pick out a couple of things you're interested in helping in. I think Tanner's going to pass around a form for that. You're not like signing on the dotted line in blood. I just want to know, what would you particularly be interested in? By creating groups or serving families, as I like to call them, where everyone is trained and everyone knows what to expect in their specific position. I do so much better when I know what to expect. I'm more confident, I'm more willing if I know. Having a team leader for each group to help with the scheduling, training, and being a point person. And the last thing, I'm encouraging everyone to commit to helping, so hopefully it feels a lot less demanding. And you know the saying, many hands make light loads. So, also scheduling. Just like we have a football schedule for the season ahead of time, my goal is to do the same with the area of volunteering, because failing to plan is planning to fail. So here are some groups that you can help in. I'm not gonna talk about them in depth. The gate, chains, filming, clock, running the clock,
cleanup / lost and found. Anyone that's helped clean up, that role's gonna change just a little bit. And then we're adding a new category, field crew, which I'm really excited about. I am gonna talk about that real quick because it's new. This group is gonna show up and help set up the field. The generator, the sound system, hopefully hang the sponsor sign so Cheryl's not scrambling to do that last minute. What else? What was the other things here? Yeah, the markers, the chains, and then also to help transition the field possibly in between games. Did anybody ever see me at the end of the junior high game by myself lugging the water and stuff off? Anybody? Yeah. Anyways, we need a field crew to help transition in between games. We need representatives from all teams, junior high, junior varsity, varsity. If you have a team that wants to be a part, feel free to sign them up. I'm gonna have Jonathan signed up to help with junior high. But definitely for adults too, definitely. So, what do I be a blessing? I want you to feel valued, included, and excited, and we need you to be willing and committed. So go ahead, y'all, and get ready and get excited to be a part of the most successful Titan year we've had to date. I believe that. Thank you.
All right, I wanted to let everybody know that April Binky, Connie Sawyer, and myself have taken over the Booster Club this year. As a nonprofit organization, the Booster Club helps support efforts of this team. It helps offset the costs that we may have to pay to participate in the program. Our coaches volunteer countless hours to our boys to get ready for the season. It is our job as homeschool parents to help boost their children up prayerfully, physically, and financially. As a team, we schedule food fundraisers throughout the year. Camps, like they said earlier, we do youth camps and kickball tournaments at the beginning of the seasons. We do dances as well, and we help with equipment throughout the season to make it successful for the kids on the field. We're looking for trainers as well this year through the Booster Club, so we make sure that they have them on the field during the games. This is where I need you guys' help. I have a sponsorship form right here that they're going to be handing out. They're blue sponsorship forms. Please help us by getting any sponsors from business owners that you know or that you shop at frequently. Also, if you're worried about not knowing where to go, I have a list of people that we know for certain that give out sponsorships that we would love for you guys to go to and basically ask if they would be willing. The last several years that we've been taking money, we have raised enough money to purchase a trailer to haul all this game gear to and from games. This will help out the coaches tremendously so they don't have to pack their stuff up, especially when they've got a car full of kids. So, we have also talked about it earlier. That's what we do for the team itself, the Booster Club does. But as we help with the football players individually, we are allowed as a nonprofit organization to hold 2 raffles per year. They talked about this earlier. One is in the spring, one is in the fall. This spring, we will be doing the Holy Cow Beef for gift cards for $1,500. I promise this helps. It started yesterday and it will end March 29th. We have extra tickets. So if you know that you're committed to the team and you know that this is what you want to be doing this year, especially for the newbies, because I know that this cost is probably freaking you out just a tad. You can do this. I've done it. I had 2 kids and it does work. So if you want any of the raffle tickets, Connie right here has extra tickets and you can go ahead and start selling those before March 29th.
22nd, I think. That one's wrong.
This says 29th on it.
It's wrong.
Is that right?
That's when the
Not
drawing
change it.
is. The 29th is when the drawing is.
She wants them all turned in by the 20th, but that still gives you time, okay? We would not be able to make this possible without each and every one of you guys helping make a difference in these Titan athletes. So if you have absolutely any questions, Connie's here, April's here, and we'll help you out any way we can to help you for the future. Thanks. If you've asked for tickets for the raffle, please see Connie before you leave, because she does have extra tickets. Or Amy Zavala, she's doing junior high. Are you doing junior high? Oh, you're doing high school. So, Amy Zavala back here is doing high school and Connie's doing junior high. So y'all can find those women whenever we're finished, okay? Thank you.
Hey, I'm just gonna say Tiffany has taken this over, and I really appreciate her doing that. It's a lot, so thank you, Mrs. Tiffany. Guys, she's handing out these sponsor forms. It's really simple. Just to go up to a company, somebody that you know. It doesn't even have to be anybody that's a stranger. Just go up to them, and you can get $200. Like if everybody on our team got $200, that would be nearly like $5,000. If you do the math, I can't even do the math. But anyway, if y'all would do that, it really helps us out. It's a simple form. It's a simple process. The other thing that Crystal mentioned, like the eating out when we go to restaurants and stuff, those go into our booster club, and we get money. Like we just did Dion's, and I think we made $250. That was one night. And guess what, guys? Mamas, we don't have to cook, and then we don't have to bring home candles and cookies in our freezer or go around selling junk, okay? So these are easy things that you can go out and support the crew by eating at these fundraisers or just doing these little sponsorships. That's gonna help your players. You probably don't think it is, but like the first year we bought huge sleds and tackling dummies, things that our team needed that we didn't have. And then the trainer, that keeps your kids safe. So it's all to help Tiffany and April and Connie do these little things. It's gonna make the season better for your boys. So go find 2 sponsors, guys. It's really simple. Just 2 people, and they'll help you.
So what she's saying, I think, is we're not a UIL school. We don't have a tax base where we can go tax all the oil companies or the businesses in town. And so we have to make it work. We've got a booster club, and we've got a lot of equipment that the booster club paid for that really helps. And there's still some other things we'd like to buy. And anyway, it makes a big difference, and it goes a long way to making everything work. So thank you, Tiffany, for taking that over. Okay, are we done? We're done? Okay, so we covered a lot of territory. There is no possible way I could absorb all that information, and I'm assuming that I'm probably not the only one like that. It's really not that hard, but if you'll just get plugged in. Is there any new high school players, prospects, or potential players here? Okay, we got one. You're junior high, right? High school. Okay. Okay. So come talk. I'd love to meet you. I met you guys. Come talk to me before you leave. I'd love to meet you and try to get the ball rolling. Who's new in junior high here? Who's new in junior high? Okay. Go see one of the junior high coaches. Go talk to them and get to know them. They'll help you with all this. They'll help you get plugged in. Tell you what you need to know. Okay. What am I forgetting? Okay, I think we're good. We're excited to have all you guys. We love football. We love getting to watch the kids play football. I love coaching football. And we're just going. Yes.
Don't forget, the cheerleaders are having a dance on Saturday. You don't have to have a date, just go and have fun. There'll be a lot of football players there, there'll be a lot of cheerleaders obviously there because they're hosting it. But they're kind of like hand in hand, football and cheerleaders, we work together a lot throughout the year, so. Go to the dance.
Okay, cheerleader dance. Where is it?
It's at the Reese Center.
The Reese Center.
Ranch
Okay.
at Reese.
The Ranch at Reese. Okay. This Saturday. We have several events. A lot of them, like the football team, I think we're having a flag football game. Kellen, am I right? Yeah. Okay. So a lot of things a lot of these events, what do you say, unofficial events. Yeah. unofficial events, they pop up all of a sudden. The way you know what's happening is to get on the team app. And so when you register, we'll give you a link. You can get on the team app, and those alerts will come out, and you can get plugged in and get messed with the community. So come see me if you're new. Go see Coach Tanner if you're new, and let's get you plugged in and get going.